Hare Krishna. Welcome to all of our guests online joining today. We also welcome our guest speaker of the day. Very special welcome to Her Grace Akuti Prabhu. Today we are celebrating the Govardhan Leela, occasion of Govardhan Leela. And it is a very important occasion for us to remember the Lord's pastimes. So we will, after the talk, we have a little miniature version of Giri Govardhan here. We will do a little parikrama about that hill, and we will later on sing Damodarashtakam prayer as well. So please stay with us throughout the program. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Now I request Yashika to introduce our guest speaker to our online Sangha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'd like to welcome everyone once again to our Sunday Peace program. Today, we're very fortunate to have Her Grace Akuti Prabhu here with us today. She joined Srila Prabhupada's mission in 1970 and shortly after helped start a temple in Dallas where she also got married. Since then, she's been to many places such as Houston, Los Angeles, Santa Barbara, Oregon, finally to Miami, and then Colombia in South America, where she went back to help start a Gurukul. Presently, Mataji runs an eco farm in Alachua where they teach simple living and higher thinking. So once again, I'd like to welcome Her Grace Akuti Prabhu and hand it over to her. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everyone can hear me okay? It's all right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, it's really a great honor to be able to talk on this day. This is one of the best festivals ever. Govardhan Puja has always been very dear to me. And a trip to Vrindavan is not complete without walking around Govardhan Hill and remembering this wonderful Leela of Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill. So it's, I'm sure it's a favorite of many. Of course, it's Kartik, it's fall, it's a colorful season. And usually the festival's outside and the cows come and we worship the cows. So it's a very bright and cheerful festival. I've already celebrated 2 other times today, so I'm pretty fired up. And we should also note that this Govardhan Leela, Govardhan Hill, was very dear to Srila Prabhupada. Just before leaving his body, what was his request? Please take me in a bullock cart around the whole Vrindavan Hill. So being a request of our spiritual master at the time of death must have hold of great significance. And we know ourselves, whenever we do go around Govardhan or hear about it, we're able to remember so many pastimes of Krishna. There's a special Shakti, a special Smaranam Shakti that we can have, that we can remember all the different Leelas that went on daily on Govardhan Hill. So many wonderful pastimes. So this is just a brief understanding of how this whole thing happened, is that Krishna, of course, was requested by Mother Bhumi to come to earth to get things together. There's demoniac influence. And so he had to gather up some staff to come with him to the earth. So he approached, of course, he's there with all his wonderful eternal associates and residents in there in Vrindavan. So he arranges for them to all to appear to help with these pastimes on earth. And so he approaches Srimati Radharani, and Radharani is a little reluctant to go there. He says, oh no, you must come. And she goes, well, I don't know if I want to go there. I don't want to leave Vrindavan. You know, the Jamuna's here and Govardhan Hill is here. What am I going to do there in that horrible place? And he said, don't worry, they're going to come. Govardhan Hill, Jamuna, they'll all be there. And so be it, she agreed to come. And it just happens that when we read the Vedic scriptures, the Vedas are all knowledge. They tell you everything material, everything spiritual. And amongst all those secrets of the Vedas, it describes that everything is personal, even the earth, just like we even say Mother Earth. Or like here in Florida, we have names of hurricanes even. So we can even understand that there are some personal aspects to different things. But the Vedas describe that even mountains are persons. And so we can see that these mountains had special potency also. I happened to be on a trip to Gitanagari once. It was in the early 80s. And I was picked up in Harrisburg at the airport by His Grace Burjan Prabhu. And he was in charge of a Gurukul at that time in Gitanagari. And he picked me up and we were driving to Gitanagari along this, what's called the Shenandoah River. And there are mountains, small mountains, all along that river for a ways. And he pointed to one in particular. And he said, you know, when Srila Prabhupada came here to Gitanagari, and he was on his way to the farm, he pointed to that mountain, and Borjan pointed to a certain mountain. It was a small mountain. And Prabhupada commented that, you know, that mountain can fly. So therefore, it's even confirmed by Srila Prabhupada on this earth planet that mountains have special potency and they are personalities. Well, a long time ago in Somali Dweep, there was one mountain, Dronchalia. And this, he and his wife had a son. And when the son, this mountain was born, all the demigods were all excited and realized that this was Govardhan coming to the earth. And they showered flowers and it was a big celebration. And so Krishna had arranged for Govardhan to descend. And then in Satya Yuga, there was one great sage. His name was Pulasya Muni. And he had also some great Shakti, some great powers. And he was on his way by air flight, by his powers, to go to Varanasi, to Kashi, to meditate, to perform his austerities and to become closer to his self-realization. And he was passing over the Somali Dweep and looked down and saw this beautiful mountain. And he was so excited about it. He went down and he was trying to find out about this mountain. And he found the father, and the father was, of course, very, somehow or other, a mountain pays obeisances, respects, and said, how can I serve you? And Pulasya Muni said, your son here? He would be wonderful for my meditation. Kashi is not so exciting, you know, the terrain is not so nice. Please, let me have your son, I'll take him there. And Dronacharya, he started to cry. He was very upset. He didn't want to lose his son, especially Govardhan. And so he was crying. And then Govardhan said, oh, wait, father, this is okay. I will go with him. It's not a problem. I don't mind going, but on one condition. He said that if wherever you set me down, that's where I'm going to stay. And you're not going to get me up again. And he said, no problem, it's not that far to Kashi. And he says, well, how are you going to get me there? He says, I'm just going to hold you and we're going to fly there. And so they were, he managed to do that, and they were flying over the Vrindavan area. And Govardhan is looking down and seeing what a wonderful place. And he was all inspired. I must stay here. I must go there. And so by his power, he made Pulasya Muni have to call nature. He had past urine. So he went down and he couldn't control it. And so he set the mountain down, said, I'll be back in a few minutes, went to the call of nature, came back, picked up or tried to pick up Govardhan. Govardhan, nope. He said, I told you, wherever you set me, I'm here for good. And so Govardhan was very happy. This is the place I want to be. But Pulastya Muni was very angry, even though he had promised. He says, I curse you that you will shrink the size of a mustard seed, the width and breadth of a mustard seed every year, every day. So he gave that, that curse. And at that time, Govardhan Hill was 64 miles long, 40 miles wide, and 16 miles high. Today, it's 80 feet at the highest point. So you can see the power of sages. Don't mess with sages because their curse does come true. So Govardhan said, that's okay. You know, I don't want to have to deal with those snowy snow caps and everything. Anyway, I'll be very happy here. If it's small, that's okay. But I just want to be here. So on schedule, Krishna took birth in the land of Gokul, Nanda and Yasoda. And along in this wonderful village with Nanda Maharaj alone had 900,000 cows. And they were all cowherd people. So there were so many beautiful cows. But the trouble was that the village was being harassed. Ever since Krishna appeared, different demons were being sent and different calamities were happening. And, but somehow or other, they managed, and then it got to a point where they said, this is not good. We should move. And so Nanda Maharaj and Upananda got together and they discussed with the council about moving. Well, where shall we move? And they said, well, actually, Vrindavan has a wonderful place there. It's a beautiful forest, and Govardhan is there. And Govardhan means, Vardhana means to nourish, and go is cows. So it means to nourish the cows. So there's the grasses, the caves for pastimes, there's nice shady trees, waterfalls, all kinds of, the perfect place for the cows to live and to live very nicely. So they actually picked up the whole thing and went to Govardhan. So this was a very nice opportunity for Govardhan to do service. So this pastime has a lot to do with service, especially service to the devotees. And during that time in Gokul, there was in Vrindavan, there was this, traditional festivals that would always happen, Krishna consciousness. It seems like there's a festival every day. And also in this pastime, when Krishna was here, it was a festival every day when he was a small child. And Nanda Maharaj was arranging things, and Krishna asked what was going on, and he said, this is, we're going to worship Indra to help with the rain so that we can help with the cows and the grasses and the food and everything. This is what we do. So now I want to look into the thoughts of the different characters in this pastime. So first of all, Krishna. So Krishna is thinking that he's been in Vrindavan now for 7 years, his 7-year-old boy, and he's the talk of the town. He's already, protected them from so many different things that had happened bad. And this was predicted by Garga Muni, that he would protect everybody. So this was going on. And when he heard about this puja, this Indra puja, he definitely questioned his father about it and said, is this according to scriptures, or is this just some karma kanda thing and you're worshiping demigods for some result? And then he went on to speak his little philosophy out of his little body. But somehow or other, he convinced them that you should be actually worshiping Govardhan. Govardhan is giving the grasses. Govardhan is taking care of the cows, and we can't live without Govardhan. Why you worship Indra? And Indra can be very arrogant. This is not good. And so Krishna knew that he needed to fix the pride of Indra. So this is not good for a devotee at all. Arrogance is a number one downfall for sure for a devotee. And he also wanted to spend some quality time with his eternal associates and increase their intimate relationship. So this is what's going on in Krishna's mind. And he wanted to, teach Indra that lesson about the pride. And we have a similar incident going on right now with a very powerful leader who also is a bit on the arrogant pride side. And even Prabhupada said that at some point, leaders will get in a position and ultimately you have to just drag them out, right? So we can see that this is a fact, that this position of being a celebrity and so much power and everything is a great hindrance, and it's very difficult to humble yourself. So we can see that even today, that problem is there eternally with us. So Krishna is facilitating a lot of different things with this pastime. Now, Nanda Maharaj, he is very affectionate to his son. And all the cowherd men also love Krishna for so many different reasons. And when a little boy speaks, especially in broken language or here in high philosophical language, you get pretty impressed, and if he requests something, for sure you're going to want to please that little boy. So in the same way, Nanda Maharaj said, "Oh, no problem." He says, "I understand. Whatever you say, Krishna. What do you think, cowherd men? Okay, well, let's just take all these arrangements and everything, and we'll make lavish arrangements for worship of Govardhan." And Krishna said, the best of everything for Govardhan. And so everyone started cooking and making pots of wonderful foodstuffs, milks and sweets, a mountain of rice with ghee that looked like snow coming all down, mountains of rock candy and honey and different pots of dal and everything, vegetables, everything you could think of were all made in an Akuti celebration. You can imagine how much fun it would be to bring a nice offering like that. And we know, even at our temple today, so many different things were brought and put all over the altar. It's great, so satisfying to give everything in service to Krishna. And this is what happened. So it ended up to be a wonderful festival and very satisfying. So what is Govardhan thinking? Govardhan's thinking, wow, how nice. Look at all these wonderful things I have as a nice offering. These residents are so wonderful. It's so nice to serve them. And then above all that, then Krishna manifests himself in a huge form, sits right on top of Govardhan and says, come on, bring more. This is not enough, bring more, bring more, bring more. So of course, Govardhan is really happy with him sitting on top and telling him to bring more. So, and then Krishna gets everyone to bow down to Govardhan also. And then when Krishna actually picked up Govardhan, then he was fully satisfied. Here, I'm resting on Krishna's left hand, and I'm getting to serve the devotees, getting to protect them from this violence from Indra. So for 7 days, he got to do that wonderful service to all the residents. And he got very excited, so excited to have another wonderful adventure of the Lord. Because every day there's something exciting going on Govardhan, but this was real special. For the whole 7 days, he got to serve all the residents of Vrindavan. So what about the culprit Indra? What's he thinking? Well, he's thinking, just like it says in Bhagavad Gita, I'm the supreme controller. I'm the best of everything. Everything should be offered to me. I'm the most, I'm benefiting everyone. I am qualified for all this worship. And he's getting more puffed up and more puffed up and more arrogant all the time. But now they're worshiping this hill. This talkative little boy has convinced them to give it all to him. And look at all those wonderful things. Look at all that. And it's all going to a hill. This is ridiculous. I'm getting a headache. And just thinking, this is just giving me a headache. And he goes, no, actually, I'm angry. I'm furious. And he calls the Samvardhaka clouds to come to get revenge on that little talkative boy, Krishna, and all the residents of Vrindavan. So what are the clouds thinking? The clouds hear the summon to come, and usually they're summoned to come at the time of dissolution. So they're going, yes, yes. They pay obeisances to Indra and say, what have you called us for? What's going on? And so Indra explains, I want you to go and inundate that Vrindavan with rain. If you kill the cows, all the residents will die just because the cows they're so attached to their cows. I want you to really show off your stuff. And so the clouds are thinking, now we can show our power. We can show our lightning and our thunderbolts and our pillars of rain. We can show all of our wind, everything, our hail. We'll show them. We'll use all of our power at our best. And so they go off to Vrindavan. And they do a great job. They're tormenting everybody, and tons of rain, and the rain is thick as pillars. And I was going to sing the song, but I can't. It's too much. Anyway, all the kids, the Gurukul kids, they know the song, and so then, but then the clouds are saying that. But then Krishna picked up this hill, and Mount Sumeru was panicked when he saw this big hill come up. And then Mount Kailash was completely bewildered and didn't know what to do because it was covering the sky. And so this was all of a sudden their power wasn't doing anything. Not even a particle of dust was disturbed on the hill because Krishna was protecting everyone. And so the clouds got frustrated. And then Indra came and said, keep trying. And then out of fear, the clouds started to work. And they worked harder and harder until they were like worn out, tired, and they almost died. The clouds almost died. And so this was how the clouds were feeling. They were upset they couldn't actually fulfill the orders of their spiritual, of their guru Indra. And so what are the cows thinking? The cows, of course, are the wealth of Braj. Prabhupada said about the Varnashram system that it is based on the cows and agriculture. So the wealth of Braj were the cows, and they were lovingly taken care of. The cows were very happy, so happy to be lovingly cared by Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd boys and Krishna. And there were plenty of grasses. The Govardhan Hill gave them everything that they wanted. But now hailstones are coming down, huge hailstones, and they're hitting their humps and breaking into pebbles. And the calves are frightened. So they put their calves underneath their folds of skin, which is called the dulap, those wiggly skin underneath their chin. And they hover them underneath, and they're wondering, how are they going to maintain? So, of course, the cows, what do? They cry out, Krishna, help, help. Already, Krishna has helped them from the forest fire. So it's, of course, they have full faith. As you see, all the residents, everyone has faith in Krishna, except for the ones that don't believe totally in Krishna. But that faith that Krishna will save me, we just have to depend on Krishna. So they cried out to Krishna. And so when Krishna lifted up the hill, they had the best opportunity. 7 days of they huddled right close to Krishna and just looked at his face. And they even stopped eating. They stopped doing the other things just to be in that with Krishna. And when Krishna put down the hill, they were the first ones to be headed out to leave the hill. And so they shot out like a bullet out of the hill. And then they get outside and they see Krishna still under the hill. So they went right back in because they didn't want to leave Krishna. So that's how close Krishna and the cows are. So we have this Go Puja that goes on today, and also a Gopastami coming up in just a very short while. So the importance of the cows is hard for us to understand, but I've been working with the cows some, and you can really understand what special souls they are, especially if you worship them properly and use them in Krishna's service, and protect them. So that's what the cows were thinking. And then there's the residents of Vrindavan. They're all underneath the hill thinking, yes, Krishna has saved us again. And now we have 7 days just to stare. I'm looking at a beautiful picture of Krishna who's feeding the cows. And just to stare at Krishna for 7 days and to really look at how beautiful he was, and especially that Kastuba jewel that brightened up everything. That's all it was needed to brighten the whole hill up. No sun was there, but just that Kastuba gem lit up everything. And so they became more and more attached to Krishna, and that's what Krishna wanted, just to be with Krishna all the time. And of course, the cowherd boys, this was an opportunity to joke around with Krishna and to say, oh, let me hold the hill for a little while. And Krishna would let go and they would get all scared. And then they would try to massage Krishna's arm or his legs or something. And Krishna would say, don't worry. Look at this hill is so light. Giriraj is doing the whole thing. He's just using me as an instrument. It's light as a feather. And then there's Mother Yasoda. Mother Yasoda, bless her heart, is just worried sick over the whole scene. Here's her, Krishna, 7 days not eating properly. She's making all these preparations, trying to feed Krishna so he doesn't starve to death, that he doesn't lose strength. Here he is holding this hill, at least let someone else hold it for a while. Take a break, you're just a small child. So this is her motherly rasa of worrying. Us mothers know what it's like. You even worry about your kids when they're 30 and 40 years old, but that motherly rasa of worrying about Krishna the whole time. And then when Krishna would get his flute out, he's got the left hand with the hill, and now he's going to play with the right hand, the flute. And then she would just say, this is too much. Cowherd boys, don't let this happen. He's just gonna be too tired. And what if he drops his hill? So a lockdown with Krishna for 7 days, no problem, no distress. Everyone had no discomfort, and very, very happy. So this fulfilled Krishna's desire and all the residents' desire to increase that relationship. And then, of course, after the clouds gave up and Indra finally got his bubble popped and inflated his ego a little bit, he was a little regretful that he had done what he did. So he decided he would come down and ask forgiveness from Krishna. And so Lord Brahma helped out. He sent Sarabi cow down and to do an abhishek. And he came down. Of course, Krishna did lift the hill up, and then the residents all left. And so then the demigods came down. They saw what had happened, and they wanted to glorify Krishna. And so they also came, and they brought gifts of all sorts, wonderful things to offer this Krishna for doing this wonderful pastime. And then Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, the Sarabhika, the demigods, great rishis, all came to see this Krishna and his wonderful powers, and to hear the prayers of Lord Indra. Lord Indra said beautiful prayers. And Krishna took time out to chastise him. And sometimes we wish we could get chastised like this. All those people that got chastised by Prabhupada relish that more than anything. Whenever they tell their pastimes, they said, oh, I remember when that happened, but that was the best thing that happened to me when he said that. So Indra felt that this was really good, and Krishna warned him that you should go back to your position and in your rightful position. not that you are the greatest of everything, but that you are the servant. And so a great Abhishek went on. Sarabi used unlimited milk, as she's named, and she poured wonderful milk all over Krishna. And then the elephant of Indra, Abhishek Indra. So you have this going on at the same time, and everyone offering gifts and arti going on. And so this went on for some time. And so Indra got properly instructed, and then everyone left. And a couple of days later, I don't know where this whole story is written, but it's in a coloring book of Govardhan. I tried to find it, but actually the cowherdmen came by and saw later all these articles of worship, golden things, and wondered what was going on. And the cowherd boys said, "Oh, well, you know, I was there, and these people with big helmets came down, and they were giving things to Krishna, and Abhishek of Krishna, and then this man with snakes in his hair was there, and this person with eyes all over his body was there, and all this went on." So they were trying to describe, and Nana Maharaj is just like, well, not quite figuring it all out. So these are some of the incidences, but one particular incident that we all really like in this celebration, and that was a big part of the celebration of Govardhan, was the circumambulation of Govardhan Hill. After they offered the Anakut and everything, that the cowherdmen, they dressed themselves in the most lavish outfits they had, and turbans on their head and everything. And all the multicolored cows, it's described that even there are plaid cows. I would give anything to see a plaid cow. Anyway, they all came and they were dressed, the cows were all dressed, and with gold on their horns and gold on the hooves. Today we put turmeric on our Sarabi cow and turmeric on the hooves, dress them up, but they put real gold on all the cows. And the cows were so happy that they were jumping all around just to see their mothers all dressed up. At a celebration I went to today, they had just have like a 4-day-old calf, and they let the calf out for the first time from the barn, and it literally was hopping. It literally reminded me of this pastime because it was hopping and running all around. It was just so cute. It captured everyone's heart to see how frolicking, happy. And then when the mother came, then it really got excited. So we can see that the cows were very happy, and that the cows were ushered in the line of the circumambulation. And in front, there were the finest musicians playing the veenas and the dhakas and the kettle drums and the flutes and everything. And they were all dressed up, and there were musicians in front and musicians in the back. And the women were giving in charity, giving out prasadam, and the cowherd boys were dancing, frolicking, and having such a good time. So you can just picture in your mind, what a festival, circumambulating the whole way around Govardhan. And even today, those who go around on Ekadasi or some special days, you can feel that momentum of what a blissful time, just worshiping Govardhan Hill by going around. And so we can take a very quick little jog around Govardhan. I had the fortune of going to Govardhan, to Vrindavan last year, made it just in time before this crazy COVID thing happened. And it was the only nice day, and my daughter and I went around, and right now it's very nice because they have cut off all traffic. Unless you live there, you can't take cars there. And so we went early in the morning, and it was just a little bit cool, although it was quite chilly season, but Krishna was very kind. The sun even came out, even though it was, February. And of course, we pay our obeisances at Radhakund. And then we walk. Everyone can join the celebration in your mind, thinking about going around Govardhan. Of course, first you go to Kusham Sarovara, and that is where Krishna and Radha would meet, and they would be picking so many flowers. That was like the big flower garden there, and exchanging flowers in each other's hair and everything. So then at Kusham Sarovara, of course, that is like the playground for the devotees too, bathing in the beautiful kund there, and picturing that pastime going on, how beautiful it must have been. And then going a little further down to Aniyor, and that's where Krishna said, more, bring more, bring more. And that was that's where the Anakut celebration was held. Small little town, but very blissful. And then not far from there, you go to Manasaganga. And of course, the boat time, the pastimes there of Krishna being the boatman and getting them all to dump everything out of the boat, Krishna thinking it's going to sink, and everyone grabbing hold of, Radharani grabbing hold of Krishna, and realizing that the boatman is Krishna. That Leela is going on. And right there is Haridev. Lord Chaitanya actually got to see that wonderful deity of Haridev. And then leaving there, not too far off the road, you can go to Nardakun. And then you can go, after Manasaganga, then you go to the city of Govardhan. And then you go down, we have a very nice ashram there where the hill is quite high. You can see all the beautiful colors and big rocks and even caves on the hill there. And it's different times of the day. Sometimes the rocks are purple, sometimes they're orange in different colors, and they change and beautiful. And then walking down further, you come to Govindakund. And of course, that's where much of this pastime happened. And that's where Krishna was given that name, Govinda, one who loves the cows and the Brahmins and takes care of the land. And then from Govindakund, you go a little farther, you're getting down near the tail of the hill, you come to Apsarakund. And then a little further down, you come to Lota Baba. And that's I've been told that if you don't see Lota Baba, your Parikrama is not complete. So Lota Baba is sitting there waiting and waiting for Krishna to return. And there he has a sweet mouth in his sweet ball in his mouth. So Lota Baba is a nice cowherd boy, and he has his mushala there, his little club for beating the grains. So he must help Balaram, because our Balaram has a nice mushala also for beating the grains. And then from there, you go around the other side of Govardhan, and that's a good place to see Nilagai. All on the side of the mountain, many times, almost every time you see the Nilagai, the part cow and part deer animals on the side of the thing. And you get attacked by monkeys there, a lot of monkeys. And not far from there, if you go a little ways off the road, you go to where Krishna and Balaram would go and relish their nectar in leaf cups. And there's a tree there that is in the shape of cups. And you can put your beverage in there and just drink right out of the leaves. And then down there, you come to where they're always bathing Govardhan. It smells of milk, of old milk, all there. And they always try to get you to bathe Govardhan. He's big right there, big, huge rock. And then you take quite a long stroll down. And the next place is Uddhavakund. So many beautiful deities there. And we can remember the past time how Uddhava is thinking, he's also one of the best devotees, just like Govardhan. And he's thinking, I just want to become a blade of grass so that all the gopis will step on my head and I'll get all that wonderful Vrindavan dust and the gopi dust on my head. So we relish going to Uddhavakund. And then we come closer and we come to Radhakund. And in Radhakund, well, that would take another 10 classes probably to go to all the places of Radhakund. I just saw online the dweeps, all the beautiful lights all around Radhakund just last night or the night before, of them worshiping those beautiful eyes of the peacock. It's described, of the beautiful shape of Govardhan. So these are some of the places that we can remember, and all the millions of pastimes that go with these places on Govardhan. So it is definitely worshipable by all the devotees, and many devotees are given Govardhan Shilas to worship, and they become very dear in their hearts. It makes your heart that are full of rocks melt to be very soft. So we have to pray to Govardhan to help soften our hearts. And I have a few descriptions I really like to read because they're so beautiful. This is a description of Govardhan. This is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, just a few verses. Govardhan Hill is like a flag of intense sweetness placed in the opulent land of Vrindavan. As a king of mountains, Govardhan Hill offers very pleasing royal service to the young prince of Braj. The rocks of Govardhan Hill are many kinds of splendid jewels that provide thrones, couches, and other kinds of furniture for Sri Krishna, the supreme monarch of all nectar mellows. The musk left by deer, as well as the kumkum, camphor, and aguru naturally produced by Govardhan Hill, were all used to give a sweet fragrance to the transcendental body of Lord Krishna. The rocks of Govardhan Hill are all precious gems. Some are sapphires, some emeralds, some rubies or crystals. They provide the perfect backdrop for Lord Krishna's pastimes. The gopis' necklaces, ornaments, red foot cosmetic, betel nuts, and other paraphernalia gaze on the beauty of Govardhan Hills, groves, and caves. Who would not become enchanted by the beauty of Govardhan Hill? The peacocks dance enthusiastically, the bees and cuckoos sing melodiously, and many other birds chirp a rhythmic accompaniment as they all gaze on the service to Lord Hari done by Govardhan Hill, the best of Lord Hari's servants. So it doesn't require a lot to please Krishna. Even a hill can please Krishna just with its beauty, its pebbles and its stones. Of course, Govardhan is the best of all servants. So we should pray to Govardhan to get some of that mercy and to smash our pride, to soften our hearts, and to have that faith and dependence on Krishna that the residents of Govardhan and Vrindavan have. And also we learn to enjoy the association of the devotees in Krishna and to have respects for Krishna's cows. Very important, just as Krishna did. So I'd like to read a couple prayers. These are prayers that I'm going to say on your behalf. And you might want to read them all later. They are written by the Goswami Sri Raghunath Das. And these are wonderful prayers for a dwelling near Govardhan. So maybe some of you have become attracted to Govardhan and would like to live somewhere close to that, or at least mentally be able to go there and be close to Govardhan. So these are a couple of selections from those prayers. This is by Raghunath Das. You became the umbrella atop the handle of the arm of your Lord and crushed the pride of proud, arrogant, impudent Indra. You are the incomparable king of all great mountains. Please give me a dear dwelling near you, O Govardhan. The young couple liberally enacts pastimes of mad love in your caves so that I can see their pastimes. Please give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. You induced your beloved to joyfully play with Balaram and his friends amidst your trees, brooks, caves, plateaus, valleys, and incomparable jeweled terraces which resemble jeweled thrones. Please give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. Playfully embracing around the neck your dear friend Radhakund, the incomparable favorite of the Lord, you hide in a secluded place beside her and watch the pastimes of the young couple. Please give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. You always fully nourish the cows everywhere with your land, water, plains, and grass, and the shade of your trees, and thus proclaim the fulfillment of your name throughout the three worlds. Please give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. O King of Mountains, when the nectar of your name, Haridas Brarya, the best of the Lord's servants, came forth from the moon-like face of Sri Radhika, you were clearly established by the Vedas as a new Tilak, a Braj. Please give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. You alone give happiness to the people, animals, and birds of Braja who are filled with a mood of friendship toward Radha, Krishna, and their companions. You are immeasurably merciful. So please accept me, a wearied soul, and give me a dwelling near you, O Govardhan. So we can, in our hearts, pray for this to come true at some point, and at least to remember this wonderful pastime of Krishna lifting Govardhan Hill. So many nice instructions that we can learn from these pastimes to deliver us, and that's why Krishna appeared. These pastimes are so personal. If nothing else, we can understand that Krishna and God is really a person. When I was very small, when I was raised in Miami. Miami is flat, not a mountain. The only hill is the garbage dump, and I would always wait until I got to go up to North Carolina or up in New York to see mountains, because it was exciting. There were caves. There was playful. It was a playful place. You know, it was different. It was fun, exciting, especially with your friends. So in the same way, we can see that this playfulness, this love for these pastimes in the mountains is there in our Supreme Lord. It's said that we don't have anything that God doesn't have. So Krishna is a person. He does have desires. He does want to be with his associates. That's why he came here to deliver us and to try to encourage us to come back to him. Why stay here in this COVID material world? Why not, finish up our business and go back and be with Krishna in Vrindavan? We have to learn this lesson in this lifetime. And otherwise, I don't know about you, but no thanks. I don't think I can handle it again. It's not getting any better, and it's not going to get any better. At least we have these pastimes we can soak our soul in and remember them. And this pastime alone blossoms into other pastimes. So on this day, get out your Krishna book and share this with other people. Share prasadam with other animals, and call outside your door to come and get it, like Prabhupada said, and just have a wonderful festival, even if it's somewhat limited today. But pray to Govardhan, and hopefully next year we can run around Govardhan Hill together. So does anyone have any questions or comments or some additions? Yeah, this is a really a wonderful wonderful day for the devotees to appreciate Krishna coming here and giving us an opportunity to again remember him, and remember that we are not the all in all. Our pastimes are nothing in comparison to this. That our pride needs to be lowered, hit with the thunderbolts, down and broken into pebbles, and so that our real love and our relationship with Krishna can grow again. So thank you very much for inviting me to speak. I had a good time all week long thinking about this pastime and getting to do this class. Anyone want to say anything? If not, I'll let you go on with your celebration here.
Hi, Krishna. Thank you very much for a wonderful narration of Govardhan Leela, as well as the description of the Parikram path. Very wonderful things you brought together. And I remember there is a saying that even a poor man is pauper is proud of his penny. So we all have some amount of pride in us. So I think it's very relevant for us. If that's going to be one of the benefits of worshiping God, I think it's worth doing that. Just for that. That comes in the way for us to be humble.
It doesn't go away so fast, unfortunately.
That's right. So we need all the help. So
yes.
It's delivering Govardhan Hill. And as you said, saying these prayers is another way of being in that place. Remembering is as good as being there. So you remembered us very nicely.
But one thing we should remember, that Krishna is very forgiving. He forgave Indra. So we have hope. We have the best chance of washing away all that pride and again remembering Krishna.
Thanks again.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I doubt anyone have any doubt, any question at all, because it's about pastimes and.
All right.
So therefore.
Very nice.
Thanks again.
Hare Krishna.
Accepting our invitation. Hare Krishna. You have a wonderful time this evening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So now we are going to circumambulate Govardhan Hill, made by devotees with wonderful preparation. And after that, we have a very special event. So please stay tuned. Hari Bol.
Can you help? Here we go. Can you clear this, please? We are taking a bit of time to actually arrange for the miniature Govardhan to be brought out of the altar.